Hello, Jay here. Welcome to Beginning Drums, Chapter 22. All right, we're going to start off with our rhythms and rudiments today. Let's go ahead and get started. At this point, we've got our 16th note triplet in the mix, along with all of our other rhythms and rests. So let's go ahead and take a look at number one. We're going to start off with a half note rest for beats 1 and 2. We have quarter notes on beats 3 and 4. For bar 2, we have a 16th note triplet on beat 1, quarter note rest on beat 2, eighth notes on beat 3 with a quarter note on beat 4. Bar 3 has eighth notes on beat 1. On the downbeat of 2, we'll have an eighth note rest. We'll hit the end of that beat. 16th note triplet on beat 3 and a quarter note rest on beat 4. On bar 4, we have 16th notes on beat 1, eighth notes on beat 2, and a quarter note rest on beat 3 with a 16th note triplet on beat 4. Okay, here comes number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, rest, 3, 4. 1 triplet and triplet rest, 3 and 4. 1 and rest, and 3 triplet and triplet rest. 1 E and a 2 and rest, 4 triplet and triplet. Okay, I'm going to only be playing these one time, but I recommend repeat each of these 4 to 8 times and try out your different tempos, slow, medium, and fast. Okay, let's take a look at number 2. We're going to start off with a whole note rest for bar 1. On bar 2, we have a quarter note rest on beat 1 with 16th note triplets on beats 2, 3, and 4. On bar 3, we're going to have quarter notes on beats 1 and 2, 16th notes on beat 3 with a quarter note on beat 4. Bar 4 has a 16th note triplet on beat 1, quarter note rest on beat 2. On beat 3, we'll have an eighth note rest on the downbeat. We'll hit the end of that beat, and then a quarter note on beat 4. Here comes number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet, 1, 2, 3 E and 4. 1 triplet and triplet rest, 3 and 4. Okay, let's take a look at number 3. We're going to start off with the 16th note triplet on beat 1. We have quarter notes on beats 2 and 3, 16th notes on beat 4. On bar 2, we have 16th notes on beat 1, 8th notes on beat 2 with a 16th note triplet on beats 3 and 4. On bar 3, we have a quarter note rest on beat 1, eighth note triplet on beat 2 with a half note rest for beats 3 and 4. On bar 4, we have an eighth note rest on the downbeat of 1. We'll hit the end of that beat, and then a 16th note triplet on beat 2, quarter note rest on beat 3, and a quarter note on beat 4. Here comes number 3. 1, 2, triplet, 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 1 triplet and triplet, 2, 3, 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet rest, 2 triplet rest, 4, 1 and 2 triplet and triplet rest, 4. Okay, so definitely have a lot of action going in on these at this point. I'm going to play that one just a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet and triplet, 2, 3, 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 triplet and triplet rest, 2 triplet rest, 4, 1 and 2 triplet and triplet rest. Okay, let's take a look at number 4. For number 4, we're going to start off with 16th notes on beats 1 and 2, eighth notes on beat 3, and a quarter note rest on beat 4. Bar 2 has eighth note triplets on beats 1 and 2 with quarter notes on beats 3 and 4. Bar 3 is a whole note rest. Bar 4 has 16th note triplet on beat 1, a quarter note rest on beat 2, 16th note triplet on beat 3, and a quarter note rest on beat 4. Here comes number 4. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and rest. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3, 4. Rest, 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet and triplet rest, 3 triplet and triplet rest. Okay, let's take a look at number 5. For number 5, we're going to start off for beats 1 and 2. We're going to have the eighth note rest on the downbeat. We'll hit the ends of those beats. Beat 3 is a 16th note triplet. Beat 4 is a quarter note. On bar 2, we have a half note rest for beats 1 and 2, eighth note triplet on beat 3, and a quarter note on beat 4. For bar 3, we have a quarter note on beat 1, eighth note triplet on beat 2, quarter note rest on beat 3 with a 16th note triplet on beat 4. Bar 4 is going to have, for the first 3 beats, an eighth note rest on the downbeat. We'll hit the ends of those beats, and then eighth notes on beat 4. Okay, here comes number 5. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and rest, and 3 triplet and triplet, 4. Rest, 2, 3 triplet, 4. 1, 2 triplet, rest, 4 triplet and triplet, rest, and rest, and rest, and 4. Okay, let's go ahead and go to number 6. For number 6, we're going to start off with an eighth note triplet on beat 1, quarter note on beat 2, eighth note triplet on beat 3, quarter note on beat 4. For bar 2, we have eighth notes on beats 1 and 2 with 16th note triplets for beats 3 and 4. Bar 3, we're going to start off with a 16th note triplet on beat 1 and then a quarter note rest on beat 2 with a half note rest for beats 3 and 4. Bar 4 has quarter notes on beats 1 and 2 with a half note rest for beats 3 and 4. Okay, here comes number 6. 1, 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2, 3 triplet, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet, 1 triplet and triplet, rest, 3, 4, 1, 2, rest, rest. Also recommend make sure you're rotating your sticks and getting in some good balance with both hands. Okay, let's take a look at number 7. We're going to start off with eighth notes on beat 1. Beat 2 has an eighth note rest on the downbeat. We'll hit the end of that beat and a half note rest for beat 3 and 4. For bar 2, we have a 16th note triplet on beat 1, quarter note rest for beats 2 and 3, 16th notes on beat 4. Bar 3 starts with an eighth note triplet on beat 1, quarter note rest for beats 2 and 3, 16th note triplet on beat 4. And then bar 4 has an eighth note triplet on beat 1, eighth notes on beat 2. For beat 3, we have an eighth note rest on the downbeat. We'll hit the end of that beat and then a quarter note rest for beat 4. Here's number 7. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and rest, rest. 1 triplet and triplet, rest, 3, 4 and a 1 triplet, 2, 3, 4 triplet and triplet, 1 triplet, 2 and rest and 4. Okay, let's go to number 8. We're going to start off on bar 1 with a 16th note triplet on beat 1, a quarter note on beat 2, eighth notes on beat 3, and a quarter note rest on beat 4. Bar 2 has a quarter note rest on beat 1, 16th note triplet on beat 2, quarter note rest on beat 3, and a quarter note on beat 4. Bar 3 has a quarter note rest on beat 1, 16th note triplets on beat 2, quarter note rest on beat 3, 16th note triplets on beat 4, and then a whole note rest for bar 4. Here comes number 8. 1, 2, triplet, 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 1 triplet and triplet, 2, 3 and rest, 1, triplet, triplet, 3, 4, 1, 2 triplet and triplet, 3, 4 triplet and triplet, rest, 2. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our rudiment of the chapter. Today we're going to learn the single dragadiddle. It's got a cool name. And think of it like a paradiddle where the first note is a drag, or it's going to be a fast doubled note. Okay, so our goal is going to be getting into some 16th notes, and we're going to actually have 30-second notes for that fast double. But if you think of a paradiddle like this, right, left, right, right. Now if I double up on that first hit, right, right, left, right, right. That's it right there. Now if I start with my left, left, right, left, left, just going to make that into a drag, left, left, right, left, left. So there's your dragadiddle right there. Okay, and you can think of it like a dragadiddle if you want to try to put the name on it, the phonetics, but either way you want to go about it, that's basically what we're going to be jamming. Okay, let's start off nice and slow into it. We're going to start off with number 1 in 4/4 time, and I'm going to make that drag into eighth notes. So it's going to be like a 1 and 2, 3, 4, and then we'll start off like a right, 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 left, right, right, left, left, right, left, left. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and right, right, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, left. Again, right, right, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, left. Okay, now let's go ahead and turn them into some of the 16th notes with our 30-second notes for those first 2 notes. For number 2, we're going to be in 2/4 time, and it's going to just be 2 beats, and I'm going to put a quarter note rest on beat 2. So we'll do the single dragadiddle, and then we'll have a rest. So it's going to sound like this: da 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 rest, da 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 rest. Okay, let's go ahead and try it. 1, 2, right, right, left, right, right, rest, left, left, right, left, left, rest. Again, right, right, left, right, right, rest, left, left, right, left, left, rest. Okay, let's take it to number 3. I'm going to do the similar concept, but this time we'll just put a quarter note on beat 2, and we'll just do singles for that quarter note. 1, 2, right, right, left, right, right, left, 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 right, left, left, right, 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 left, right, right, left, 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 right, left, left, right. Okay, let's take it to number 4. Similar concept, but now we'll do eighth notes on beat 2, and those will be singles. 1, 2, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, Okay, now for number 5, we're going to go ahead and do 2 single dragadiddles back to back, and they will flip the sticks. So we'll start off slow, and then we'll push our tempo for some fun. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. Right, right, left, right, right, left, 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 right, right, left, right, right, left, 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 left. Okay, there it is. Here's a little fast for fun. Pretty cool rhythm. It's definitely going to be fun to apply to the drum set, so have fun with it. Cheers. All right, welcome to Beats and Fills. This chapter's beat's going to have 8 notes in our bass drum. On beat 1, we'll have a bass drum on the and of 2, a bass drum on the downbeat of 3, and then a bass drum on the and of 4. So we have lots of bass drum for this one. Let's go ahead and take a look at beat number 1. This will be the quarter note version of this beat. For beat 1, we're going to have a hi-hat and bass drum on the downbeat. We'll have a bass drum on the and of the beat all by itself. On beat 2, we'll have a snare and hi-hat together on the downbeat, bass drum all by itself on the and of 2. We'll have a hi-hat and bass drum together on the downbeat of 3. On beat 4, we'll have a snare and a hi-hat together on the downbeat, and then we'll have a bass drum on the and of 4. Okay, here's beat number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Okay, for beat number 2, we're going to do the 8th note version. On beat 1, we're going to have bass drum and hi-hat together for the downbeat and the and of that beat. On beat 2, we'll have a hi-hat snare for the downbeat. Then we'll hit our bass drum with our hi-hat on the and of that beat. On beat 3, we'll hit our hi-hat and bass drum together on the downbeat. And then we'll have a hi-hat all by itself on the and of 3. On beat 4, we'll have a snare and hi-hat together on the downbeat. And then we'll hit our bass drum with our hi-hat on the and of 4. Here's beat number 2. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, let's take a look at beat number 3. This will be the 16th note version of this beat. On beat 1, we're going to have a bass drum on the downbeat and the and of that beat. This will sound like this. 1, E, and. Beat 2 is going to have snare on the downbeat and our bass drum on the and of that beat, like this. 2, E, and. Beat 3 is just going to be basic with our bass drum on the downbeat. 3, E, and then beat 4 is going to have snare on the downbeat and then a bass drum on the and. 4, E, and. Here's beat number 3. 3, E, and 4, E, and 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and. let's do some fills. Concept here, first of all, is to take a given rhythm and play it all snare. Part 2 is where I'm going to arrange it somewhere on the drum set. And then part 3 is where you create and write your own drum fill and arrange it on the staff for the drums. So let's go ahead and take a look at number 1. Okay, we're definitely going to have a lot of 16th note triplets in these examples. Number 1 is going to start off with a snare on just a quarter note on beat 1, and then we'll have 16th note triplets for beats 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I arranged this one around the horn. So on beat 1, we'll put that quarter note, just a snare, and then we'll have 16th note triplet on tom 1, tom 2 to floor tom. Okay, now it's time for you to create your own fill. So take that same rhythm. Let's say if you want to put your quarter note as a flam on tom 1, just put a flam with the grace note in front of it up on that top space. Okay, now you have 3 beats of 16th note triplets. You could just put, let's say if you want to put a whole 16th note triplet on your ride, just put some X's above your staff, maybe put an R or a ride above it, and that could be your beat 2. On beat 3, let's say if you want to split up tom 1 and tom 2, put 3 notes on each drum, you could totally do that. Just use your top space going to your second to top line. And then on beat 4, if you want to put that all floor tom, just put a 16th note triplet on your second to bottom space. And then you'll notice those 16th note triplets, you're going to have the 6 notes, put a straight stems, and then put 2 flags on them, and then subdivide it in the middle, and then put the 3s above them, as opposed to a regular 8th note triplet that would just have 1 flag up there. Okay, for number 2, this one's going to have 8 notes on beat 1. We'll have an 8th note rest on the downbeat of 2. We'll hit the end of that beat, 16th note triplet on beat 3, and then a quarter note on beat 4. Okay, the way I arrange number 2 is I put the 8th note as flams on floor tom for beat 1. On the end of 2, that's just a bass drum. And then we're going to split up tom 2 and tom 1 for beat 3 with that 16th note triplet, putting 3 notes on each. And then beat 4 is just going to be a regular snare hit, quarter note. Okay, for number 3, we have a 16th note triplet on beat 1, quarter note rest on beats 2 and 3, and then a 16th note triplet on beat 4. Alright, the way I arrange this one is we're going to have our 16th note triplet broken up between our snare and our tom number 2, and that's going to be 3 hits on each. We have our 2 quarter note rest, and then on beat 4, we're going to split up that 16th note triplet with your tom 1 and floor tom. If you want to be creative with singles for your triplets, you could also try a right, left, left. That looks really good, and we'll explore a lot of these doubles in the next book, Intermediate, so I hope you join me on that. Orchestrated. For number 4, we have an 8th note rest on the downbeat of 1. We'll hit the end of that beat. 16th notes on beat 2. An 8th note rest on the downbeat of 3. We'll hit the end of that beat. And then a 16th note triplet on beat 4. Okay, the way I arrange this one, on the end of 1, we'll hit tom number 1. On beat 2, we're going to have 2 notes on our snare and 2 notes on our floor tom for those 16th notes. On the end of beat 3, that's a tom 2, and then for that 16th note triplet, all 6 notes will be snare and crash combination. Okay, now we're going to combine our beats and fills. The goal here is to play 4 bars of all 3 of our beats and then play a 1 bar fill. I've written you down examples of my orchestrated fills for numbers 1 through 3. You could do any fill you like here. If you want to do one of my fills on the snare or for the drum set, or if you want to do your fill, have at it, have fun with it. So for number 1, we're going to do 4 bars of the quarter note beat into fill number 1. lastly, what we do here is just play 4 bars of all 3 beats and then improvise a 1-bar fill. You can play anything you like, whatever is off the top of your head, whatever feels good at that time. If you want to have a busy fill or if you want to leave some space, have at it. Cheers. Welcome to the study. Today we're going to talk about left foot hi-hat. Now at this point in the book, we pretty much have had our left foot staying put and we've been playing a closed hi-hat sound. Okay, today we're going to talk about opening it up and having a gap in our hi-hat and then about using our left foot. So first of all, it's always good to get yourself a good gap that's not too big or too small, I guess. So loosen your hi-hat clutch, step on it, tighten it, and then you'll see what kind of gap you have. So at this point, it's a pretty decent gap right there. Probably about that big. Now let's say if I just need some more, step on a little bit more, tighten it up. Now I have something to work with. It's also good, usually underneath your hi-hat, you're gonna have a mechanism to give it a little bit of a tilt. If your hi-hat's really even, sometimes you won't hear the chick sound as much. So I usually like to have a little bit of angle on that one, not too much. If you really crank that thing, your hi-hat's going to be making contact, and it just kind of depends on what you're going for, but I got myself a pretty good sound right there. Okay, now with your left foot, there's a couple different techniques we can explore. One of them is just to have your heel down and just step with your toe. Another good technique is to have your heel up and you're going to just go right to your toe. And now for these today, what I'm going to recommend, since we're going to be talking about different kind of sloshy hi-hat sounds, is just have your heel down, bring your toe up a little bit, and let's just explore the different variations for our hi-hat. We have a closed sound with my toe all the way down. I have my heel down too. Okay, now I'm going to just raise my toe a little bit. And you're going to start to hear the 2 hi-hat cymbals start to connect and they're going to make that sloshy sound. So that's the sound we're going to be going for. And that's basically your sloshy sound. And then we'll talk about actually stepping with our left foot too. So for these first examples, just keep your heel down, bring your toe up a little bit, and then you'll get a good slosh. And I'm not fully extended all the way out. I'm going to just keep it so we can make that little bit of contact. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump on in. Now, when you see the circles above the cymbal, that's going to stand for sloshy hi-hat. So think of it as we usually play a tight, closed hi-hat, and now this is going to be that open sound. Okay, let's go ahead and look at number 1. For this one, we're going to start off with 4 bars, basic quarter note, beat, all hi-hat. And then go 4 bars with a sloshy hi-hat. Just bringing your toe up. For number 2, we're going to do the same concept, but now with 8th notes. So we'll go 4 bars, 8th notes, 4 bars, sloshing 8th notes. For number 3, this is a 16th note version. This will be 4 bars basic 16th note, tight hi-hat into 4 bars basic 16th note with the sloshy hi-hat. keeping the heel down, just raising the toe. Okay, let's take a look at number 4. For number 4, we're going to have a sloshy hi-hat only on beat 1. This is a basic quarter note beat. For number 5, now we're going to put the sloshy hi-hat with our beat 2. That's going to be with our snare. Beat number 6 is going to have sloshy hi-hat only on beat 3. Beat number 7 is going to have sloshy hi-hat only on beat 4. Okay, for number 8, now we're going to go into a basic 8th note beat, and we're going to put a sloshy hi-hat only on the and of beat 1. So that's going to sound like this. 1, 2, and. For number 9, now we're going to have a sloshy hi-hat only on the and of 2. Number 10, sloshy hi-hat only on the and of 3. Number 11, sloshy hi-hat only on the and of 4. Okay, for the next examples, this will be our basic 16th note, and we're going to have sloshy hi-hat for the and the of certain beats. For number 12, it's going to be on beat 1. So I'll play this nice and slow. Here's beat 1. I'm going to start off with tight hi-hat for the first 2 notes. 1, E, and so only those 2 beats, and then tightening up for the downbeat of 2. For number 13, now we're going to have sloshy hi-hat for the and the of beat 2. For number 14, we'll have sloshy hi-hat on the and the of beat 3. For number 15, we'll have sloshy hi-hat on the and the of beat 4. Okay, for number 16, we're going to have sloshy hi-hat on beat 2 and 4 of a basic quarter note beat. For number 17, we're going to have a basic 8th note beat, and we're going to put sloshy hi-hat on the ands of all 4 beats. This is a really fun one. I'll play it really slow. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and super funky beat. For number 18, we're going to have a basic 16th note, and we'll put sloshy hi-hat on the and of every beat. for number 19, we're going to start to talk about stepping with our left foot. Now you could either keep your heel down and just press with your toe, or bring your toe down. You can also have heel up, where you're going to your ball of your foot, kind of on your toes. Okay, now for number 1 is just to repeat, just putting your hi-hat on beat 1 and then resting for the beat 2, 3, and 4. I'll go ahead and do this a couple times. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. For number 20, we're going to have left foot hi-hat only on beat 2. For number 21, we're going to have left foot hi-hat only on beat 3. Number 22, we're going to have left foot hi-hat only on beat 4. Okay, for number 23, now we're going to play a beat on our ride, and we're going to use our left foot to step on certain parts of the beat. So for this one, we're going to have our left foot hitting on beat 1 while we play a basic quarter note beat on our ride. Okay, now I'm just going to first separate this. So if I'm on my ride, here's my beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now here's with my left foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 4. Similar beat, but now we're going to have our left foot hi-hat on beats 1 and 3. For number 25, same beat, and this time we're going to have our left foot hi-hat on beats 2 and 4, right with our back beat. For number 26, now we'll have our left foot playing on all 4 beats. Okay, now we're going to be playing basic 8-note beats, and our left foot will be playing on beat 1. For number 28, we're going to play basic 8-note, and our left foot is now on beats 1 and 3. For number 29, basic 8 notes in your right, and left foot's playing on beats 2 and 4. For number 30, now we're going to have our left foot playing on all 4 beats as we play basic 8 notes in our ride. Okay, for number 31, now we're going to be playing basic 16th notes, and we'll have our left foot hi-hat on beat 1. For number 32, basic 16th notes on our ride, and then our left foot's playing on beats 1 and 3. For number 33, basic 16th note beat in our right, and now we have our left foot on beats 2 and 4 with our back beat. For number 34, we're going to have basic 16th note in our right, and our left foot's playing on all 4 beats. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you for chapter 23. Cheers.